Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the Political Vigilante. We've been demonetized by YouTube since February 1st. We can make $0 on YouTube. No ad money, no super chats, no nothing. So please support what we do. You'll see a scroll below that has places you can support us at Venmo. I have a PayPal button at grahamelwood.com. And please go over to rockfin.com/GrahamElwood and join us there. It's a newer platform. They've been around for about 2 years now. I've been on it almost the entire time they've been open. It's blockchain, it's cryptocurrency. And all my videos are on Rockfin. They're ad-free. It's free to sign up. And then I have premium videos that are $10 a month. And that $10 a month on Rockfin gets you everybody's premium content. Lee Camp's there, Jimmy Dore's there, Status Coup, Ron Placone, Kim Iverson, Whitney Webb, and the list keeps growing. Richard Medhurst, Convo Couch, on down the line. You get all of our bonus content for $10 a month, and we all get paid in crypto. It's awesome. You can also buy Ray tokens. Go to their website. Check it out. So, we're coming on the a year almost of COVID, which has been really awful. This government has handled it so poorly. We have we're right at 500,000 deaths. We're the worst of any country in the world. So it's awful. And it's been really bad. It shut down the economy. It's hurt a lot of people's lives. People have lost people. It's been rough for all of us in any number of ways. But back in January, Noam Chomsky wrote this article with somebody else at Counterpunch about there's all these other serious threats. Like everyone's like, yay, okay, everyone on the left is yay, Trump's gone. Okay, I'm glad Trump's gone. But you know what hasn't gone? The threat of nuclear annihilation, climate collapse, and financial collapse from just decades of broken neoliberal policies. So we're going to get into that. 3 major threats to life on Earth that we must address in 2021 by Noam Chomsky and Vijay Prashad. It's for real, man. Yes, we need stimulus money. Yes, people need 2,000. We need free healthcare. We need all of these things. And we have the money's there. We outspend the next 10 countries combined. We give trillions of dollars just in the last year in the CARES Act and stimulus money to Wall Street. They get whatever they want, but we got to wait in food lines. Look what's happening in Texas. That is the complete failure of capitalism and neoliberal policies. That's what it is. That's the fires in California last fall. Running out of prison labor. I mean, give me a break. And thinking this party is going to be better than that party is a joke. It's a joke. In January 2020, the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists set the Doomsday Clock to 100 seconds to midnight. Too close to comfort. So a year ago. This is serious. I did a video last year on Putin was talking about. Putin was like, hey, man, these flimsy treaties, if America leaves the treaty, which is, I think in the summer of 19, we left the treaty ended. He's like, this is bad. Putin saying this. Already limited arms control treaties are being shredded as the major powers sit on close to 13,500 nuclear weapons, more than 90% of which are held by Russia and the United States alone. If one of them gets detonated, it'll cause a nuclear winter and life on Earth will be over in a couple of years. It'll kill all life on Earth and we're done. One. Because the warheads today are like 100 times more powerful than the one at Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which were already pretty horrific. The United States Navy has already deployed low-yield tactical W-76-2 nuclear warheads. Immediate moves towards nuclear disarmament must be forged into the world's agenda. The CEOs of all the 5 major defense contractors are women, by the way. That's just more of the identity politics and the diversity of the ruling class. If we get women in there, we'll have less war. No, they get to be CEOs. They want the money and power just like anybody else. That's not the solution. Janet Yellen, first female. The solution is to disarmament contracts. That the defense contractors need to stop making things that are going to destroy all planet Earth and make things that are going to save life. They need to be leading the sustainable energy R&D. Think about how much money and brain power are at these defense contractors. They get the top, smartest scientists and engineers making shit, laser-guided stuff that murders poor people. That's what they're making right now. Why don't they make stuff that saves the Earth? So Russia's a threat. China's a threat. So what are we going to do? Blow them up and end all life on planet Earth? Because that's what'll happen. Most atolls. Now we're going to get into climate collapse. This is a study that came out in 2018. And then there's the UN study we've been talking about for the last 3 years that came out in 2018 that said if we don't get off of oil, we have until 2030. If we don't do that, it'll be too late to turn it around. We have 12 years. Well, no, now we have 9 years. That was 3 years ago. Most atolls will be uninhabitable by the mid-21st century because of sea level rise exacerbating wave-driven flooding. We've already seen mass flooding here in the Gulf states, on the East Coast. New York City's we've seen it. All this freezing weather in the country right now, all this ice and snow, it's going to melt in a couple of months in the spring, and then we're going to have flooding. And then the hurricanes come. And then the brush fires come. California just had the worst brush fires ever. Each year is a new record of brush fire disasters. Are we going to deal with climate change? Because getting the Paris Accord, not enough. Joe Biden's middle ground climate plan. We need a radical Green New Deal. And America could lead the world at saving it, but it's not. It's going to lead the world in destroying it. Way to go, dipshits. 2019 United Nations UN report estimated that 1 million animal and plant species are threatened with extinction. Add to this the catastrophic wildfires and the severe bleaching of the coral reefs. If the oceans die, they've done studies that then life on Earth we will die out within 5 years. One of the minor little silver linings of COVID is because there's been less air travel and less cars and trucks and everything because of all the shutdown orders, the environment's kind of come back a little bit. Which isn't to say, oh, yay, we fixed it, it's done. It's to show you like this was just a side effect. So imagine the whole world got together, at best it could, and America was leading the charge of being dipshits, but we tried to really lead, everybody worked together to battle COVID-19. Of course, we still sanctioned countries like Iran and a bunch of other things because we're addicted to war. But imagine if the whole world got together and said, we got to fight climate change, and we all got on, everyone, and America would have to lead the way because we're leading the way in destroying it. So other people would be like, don't tell us what to do. You guys are the worst. If we admitted we were ruining it and then said, this is what we're doing and take bold actions, other countries would follow suit. They absolutely would. And any country that didn't, we would help them financially and get behind them politically to make it happen. Because if we don't, we're all dead. Neoliberal destruction of the social contract. This is the third one. And we're seeing riots all over the world because everyone's sick of like a handful of ruling elites taking away social services, hoarding all the money. In India, we're seeing, like a military coup in Burma. Just all over the world, we've been seeing this. Countries in North America and Europe have eviscerated their public function as the state has been turned over to the profiteers and civil society has been commodified by private foundations. Isn't that what government, shouldn't we be like evolving and getting better as a society? We're worse. Look at America. People don't have water or electricity in Texas. There's food lines miles long in every major city in America, and it's been happening since last March. We have rising unemployment. We have a looming eviction and foreclosure crisis coming. We have a looming commercial real estate crisis coming. We have a student debt crisis coming. But the billionaires have made record profits during this pandemic. This is neoliberal bullshit. Globalization's so great. It's made the world a better place. That's always the claim of these. Everything's better than it was 100 years ago. Where? The Hamptons? Where? Beverly Hills? Where? Some billionaire's oil ranch in Texas? Ted Cruz's vacation place in the Caribbean? Or where is that? Is that where it's better? My life is not better than it was 20 years ago. That's for certain. 20 years ago, I owned a home. Now I live in an apartment. I mean, third world countries, their lives aren't better. I don't know what people are talking about. Terrible social inequity is the result of the relative political weakness of the working class. It is weakness that enables the billionaires to set policies that cause hunger rates to rise. The ruling class has eviscerated unions because unions would fight for workers' rights, and they would also be political. They would be kind of, hotbeds of political activism unions. If you got everybody in the union involved in this political cause, then the union would back this social cause and that social cause and stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons they've done it. And that's why we're in the state that we are. That's why we're collapsing empire. The US, for example, spends almost $1 trillion. Now we're into the war. $1 trillion if you add the estimated intelligence budget on its war machine, while it spends a fraction of this on the public goods, such as on healthcare. See? America, with all the money that we have and all the money that we spend on war, we imagine what we could have if we just had just a modest little military to make sure we're safe, but we spent money on making our citizens taken care of and then spreading that goodwill around the world. How many people would want to blow up America if we weren't bombing their country or taking their oil or having the CIA depose democratically elected leaders and put in an awful, brutal dictator that just played ball with us and let us have their resources? Imagine what America could have if we hadn't spent the whatever $10 trillion on the 20-year-long global war on terror. It's our 20th year in Afghanistan, by the way, the longest war ever. Imagine all that money if it was spent on Americans. Would Texas be in the state that it is right now? Would people be in food lines right now? No, the pandemic would have hit, but America would be spending it on its citizens, and we would have done what other countries did, which is shut them down, pay them money. People would have been okay. Free college, Medicare for all, things they've had in Western Europe for 70 years. I don't want to hear this. How are we getting paid for it? This is how we pay for it. Stop paying for the fucking intelligence community. If you work for the NSA or the CIA, how do you look yourself in the mirror? You're not helping in the American way. You're helping evil. You're working for Darth Vader. You're working for Emperor Palpatine. You're not on the side of good. You know this. I know there's intelligent people watching this show. You know you're on the wrong side of it. Like, how do you look yourself in the mirror? Do what Snowden did. Like, grow a spine and stick up for the right, for decency. You're not truth, justice. The truth, justice, the American way is crushing the 99%. So a handful of billionaire assholes can do whatever they want, and the intelligence community surveys its own citizen and breaks the Constitution. So you're on the wrong side. You're on the side of the evil empire. United Arab Emirates and Morocco agreed to recognize Israel on the condition that they could purchase $23 billion and $1 billion worth of U.S.-made weapons. Doesn't it get old? Doesn't it get old, the American empire? The use of illegal sanctions by the United States against 30 countries. These sanctions are illegal, according to the UN, and they're acts of war. Sanctions are an act of war. People get mad. Why are all these illegals coming to jump our borders in America? Yeah, because the American empire has destabilized their homelands and made it awful, unlivable. Who the hell wants to walk 1,000 miles to go to a foreign country? You wouldn't want to do that unless it was so bad here. Well, guess what? Maybe the people in Texas are going to want to jump across the border and go into Mexico where they're treated better. What happens then? The Mexican Border Patrol going to just round them up, put them into cages? 30 countries, including Cuba, Iran, Venezuela, has become a normal part of life, even during COVID-19. We sanctioned people during a pandemic. We all should be working together globally to end this disease. And we did. We're still sanctioning Iran and all these countries. Iran, Venezuela won't give us their oil. That's why we're sanctioning them. That's why we're doing that. A robust internationalism is necessary to pay adequate and immediate attention to the perils of extinction. Extinction by nuclear war, by climate catastrophe, and by social collapse. Real, bold leadership, which the Biden administration is not going to do. Not with Janet Yellen or Neera Tanden or whatever parasites they have in there. Merrick Garland, isn't that jackwagon going to be in there? Jesus, these are horrible people. The tasks ahead are daunting, and they cannot be deferred. You want to see your grandchildren grow up? Anybody under the age of 30? Do you want to see your 50th birthday? You might not. Thanks to all these assholes. I don't think Rachel Maddow is going to be screaming about climate catastrophe and the American empire spending too much money on military when she has segments literally sponsored by Boeing. Pushing Russiagate, which is Russia-phobic. It's stupid. And it's just pushing a new Cold War, because when Boeing buys ad time on all the major networks, Fox, they all push war. They all push war because the military-industrial complex pays for them to push war. Boeing doesn't buy ad time on MSNBC and Fox and CNN because they're trying to sell average Americans the F-18s or whatever. They're doing it to pay for they pay for influence. Anderson Cooper and Tucker Carlson, and they're not going to call out the military-industrial complex because they buy ad time. All those people, Sean Hannity and those other jackasses, they all have 7- and 8-figure incomes because of companies like Boeing and companies like Pfizer. That's why we don't have free healthcare, because they're paid to say, how are we going to pay for it? That's why they say, oh, let's bring in this intelligence expert. They're just bringing on a CIA propagandist to spew bullshit. All right. Okay. Hey, NSA, CIA, how many people are you going to be able to surveil if all life on planet Earth is dead? Huh? You got an answer for me? You soulless fuckheads? All you CIA maggots at YouTube that are fucking censoring my show? How many people can you demonetize if all life on Earth is done? Just no, none? Okay, cool. Thanks for watching the show, everybody. I'm going to give you the truth like nobody else will, because I don't get that kind of money. I get cryptocurrency. Go to rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. Blockchain, cryptocurrency. It's the only way out of this godforsaken hellhole. Electoral politics is not going to. The squad will save us. Nina Turner will name it. Thanks for watching. Shave your knuckles for justice. Ba-boom. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood and rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, where you can support the show. Also, I have a Bitcoin wallet, a Bitcoin Cash wallet, and an Ethereum wallet in the show notes, We're taking cryptocurrency. I have a Coinbase affiliation link. We're going to be getting on some other exchanges. So that's how you support the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. YouTube is unsubscribing us at an alarming rate. I have a PayPal button at grahamelwood.com. I even have a Venmo at Graham-Elwood. There's a lot of ways to support our show. We are getting crushed by YouTube. We've dipped under 73,000 subscribers because of YouTube. Thanks for supporting what we do.